Good morning, friends.
Good morning.
You see here I have a glass of water, and I wonder what your first impression is. Is it half full, or is it half empty? I'm going to drink some. It's too cold to chug it. Now what? Well, it's not half full anymore. It's a little closer to empty. But you know what? There's still a lot of pure, clean, clear water left. How many people around the world have cold, clean, pure water? If I continued to drink this and then got down to a couple of drops, am I going to be devastated because it's gone? Oh my gosh, now what am I going to do? It's gone? No. Because I know by finishing it, by emptying this glass, I'm making room for more. Now, we are blessed to live in a country where we do have so many blessings. Now, just as our principles say, we have to do our part. We have to work for what we want. We make our own happiness or unhappiness. But, you know, no matter what, there is always someone much worse off than we. Okay, fine. If you want to look at the movie stars and some of the sports stars, perhaps they do have a little more money in their wallet than the average individual. We forget sometimes that they've worked for it. They've worked for their fame. They've worked to develop their skills. But each one of us has our own blessings. Don't you wonder when you see these famous people and pictures of them everywhere? Don't you wonder sometimes if that's really what they intended or asked for? You know, maybe they just believe so much in what they do, and they love doing it so much that they've become very good at it. And they are admired for that. But after a while, people start demanding their time, their attention, their energy, and there's no choice. Good golly, I'd hate to think if I had paparazzi standing outside our front door when I run out with the dog first thing in the morning or run out to get the newspaper. They have exchanged for their privacy, for the money, and for the fame. This was a choice they made, and perhaps it wasn't as informed as we would like it to be. Perhaps they had not thought it all through. And isn't that true of many of us? We make choices. We set goals. We are so sure there are certain things that are going to bring us joy and happiness, or at least contentment in our lives. And ideally, we work for it. We don't just sit and wait for it to plop into our laps. But then are we really that delighted when we achieve that goal? We say often in spiritualism, be careful what you ask for, because it's true. Sometimes we aren't fully aware of everything that's going to come with what we've been asking for. Surprise! That's when the real spiritual growth begins, isn't it? It's constant. That's what life is. It's constantly in a state of movement, a state of flux. And we have to try so hard to be flexible and go with the flow. Now that's a lot easier said than done, because sometimes we move forward with all good intentions. Sometimes we move forward full tilt because we know what we think we want. Notice what we think we want. And we want to get there as quickly as possible. And then sometimes we bump into that brick wall over and over and over again. And it can be so frustrating when you're working so diligently. You feel as if you're doing your part and then some, and you're trying so hard to achieve what you think is best for you. It can be very frustrating. It can be very frustrating. We find over a period of time, if we will let go and trust, that what is for our highest best is what will come to us. That may not always be exactly what we thought it was going to be. It may not always be what we thought we were working so hard to achieve. And yet, without question, when the blessings come, and they will always come, many times we're astounded at just how blessed we have become. Friends, this can happen with anything from a home situation to a work situation to not having a job at all, to young couples who want desperately to have a child, to other young couples who think, how are we ever going to support another child? Sometimes life just happens in spite of our plans, in spite of our desires. And then people think, well, wait a minute, this isn't fair. Well, I have to agree with you. Sometimes it doesn't seem fair. But isn't everything we experience a learning process? Now, spiritualism is not a religion that believes that every hardship we have to deal with is a test from God. First of all, we don't feel that God is punishing or demanding or unjust. We know that all the energy in the universe is here for us. We know that God isn't sitting on a throne somewhere. God is right here. A little bit in me, a little bit in Emilio, and every single person here has that spark of the divine within. So we're so busy sometimes searching outward that we forget that that inspiration, that encouragement, and that upliftment is right here. We need to only settle down and open ourselves to it. We read about people who seem to have it all. They have the fabulous mansions, more than one usually. They have a stable full of fancy cars. They seem to live such a charmed life. They have people to do things for them. They have drivers to take them in their fancy cars. They have all of these things. But do they have happiness? I was reading just this morning about a very famous young actress who on the surface certainly has everything. And yet she says every day she must make a choice. Is she going to put on a smile and will herself to be happy?